All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. The monsters of the Midway are a thing of the past and you can't really put the current version of the Chicago Bears in that same category as these current Bears, they just simply cannot get out of their own way. After losing their final 10 games of 2022, the Bears have picked up right where they left off, as here in 2023, they have lost their first four to begin this season. Now, Chicago lost each of their first three games this season by double digits, but there was some optimism for the Bears when they hosted the also winless Denver Broncos this afternoon at Soldier Field. The Bears were facing a Broncos defense that had just given up 70 points to the Miami Dolphins last Sunday. And if you were the Bears, you had to be licking your chops. And early on, the Bears did take advantage of that because they jumped out to the 28-7 lead, and it looked like they were well on their way to getting their first dub of the year. But unfortunately, the Bears could not close the door on the Broncos as over the final 19 minutes of this contest, the momentum shifted as the Bears did everything in their power to lose, and that is exactly what they did. The Bears all of a sudden could not stop the Broncos offense and quarterback Russell Wilson, as after being dormant for the majority of the contest, Denver was able to put together consecutive touchdown drives to cut the Bears lead to 7. And then these beleaguered Denver defense, just arose from its slumber and they started making game-changing plays. The Broncos pass rush honed in on Bears quarterback Justin Fields and forced a fumble that Jonathan Cooper was more than happy to run back for the scoop and score to tie this contest at 28 with just under 7 minutes remaining in the fourth. From there, the Bears offense did answer the bell as they marched down the field and got into field goal range. And it looked like when they were stopped on fourth down, fourth and short, that head coach Matt Eberflus was going to make the move to kick the go-ahead and potential game-winning field goal with just under 3 minutes remaining. However, he rolled the dice. He decided to go up for it on fourth and short. The Bears' offense was stopped by Denver's defense, and of course, the rest was history. Denver was able to get down inside of field goal range. Will Lutz connected on a 51-yard field goal to give Denver its first lead since early on in this contest. And even with that, Chicago still had an opportunity to either tie the game or win it. However, that would soon change when Justin Fields was picked off by Kareem Jackson, which iced the game for the Broncos. Now, the fans in Chicago thoroughly booed the Bears off of the field this afternoon at Soldier Field. And of course, the questions are going to be mounting around the late game decision making that, by Matt Eberflus that helped to lose yet another contest for the Bears. Now, the question is, are the Bears currently the worst team in the National Football League? And I'll tell you like this, they are making a very compelling case for that. I mean, we've seen so many issues this year. The infighting, you've had Justin Fields criticizing his coaches. We've seen the same struggles on offense this year for the most part for the Chicago Bears that they had last year. I give them credit for going out and making a trade to pick up DJ Moore from the Carolina Panthers at wide receiver to give them some semblance of order at the position. Chase Claypool, who the Bears gave up a second round pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers last year to acquire. And of course, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you were more than happy to move on from Claypool. And honestly, Claypool has found a way to get worse in Chicago than he was with Pittsburgh. That draft, I mean, that trade rather, is really coming back to haunt this Bears team. They don't have any impact players on offense. A lot of people are looking at quarterback Justin Fields right now as a bust. And I'm going to put some of it on Fields, but I'm not going to put all of it because the Bears organization has not done right by Justin Fields as far as putting talent around him. They don't have talent on defense, and this is really just not a good football team. And this was a wasted opportunity today. This was a wasted performance because you figure this Chicago offense was able to produce 471 yards of total offense. You had Justin Fields go over the 300-yard mark in passing. And when it's all said and done, you do not have a victory to show for it. I'll tell you like this, unless things turn around in a hurry in Chicago, I don't see how Eberflus's job is safe with the Bears going forward. In 1+ years or a year plus with the Bears, his record is 3-18. And if you look at this upcoming schedule for the Bears, you could make the case that there are some winnable games in there, but will Eberflus still be around? They've got a Thursday night game on the road this week against the Washington Commanders. If they drop that, they're at 0-5. They then come back to host the Minnesota Vikings in week 6. There are some winnable games for the Bears, but at the end of the day, are they really going to show up and try to win those games? We got to wait and see. But nonetheless, this is a bad organization. Honestly, I really don't see how too many people within this organization have job security right now. I don't see Matt Eberflus as a long-term answer for the Bears at the head coaching position. And if, of course, if the Bears are going to go in a different direction at head coach, you can probably see the writing on the wall that the days are numbered for Justin Fields in Chicago as their starting quarterback as well. Ryan Poles, the only thing I think that he has going for him right now is the fact that he just took over the GM job last year, and historically NFL franchises, excuse me, do not move on from general managers that quick. But nonetheless, it's just gone from bad to worse for the Chicago Bears. And every time that you think it can't get any worse than it did in the previous week, the Bears find a way to make it happen. This game was gift wrapped for them. I mean, the Denver Broncos came to Soldier Field today hungover, not literally hungover, but they had a hangover about what happened to them last week in Miami as they lost 70-20. And in the first half, the Bears offense was able to take advantage of that. Things changed. And obviously, the Broncos were able to make the adjustments. They had that gut check moment, if you will. They picked themselves up off of the canvas and they turned things around. But if you're the Chicago Bears, you have to find a way to capitalize on that. The way that the Broncos started this game, as they were sleepwalking, still reminiscing about what happened last week, that's what the good teams do. The good teams go out there and take advantage of the bad teams. And Chicago did it for one half, but when it was all said and done, and they needed to find a way to seal the deal this afternoon, they were unable to do it. This is why the Bears are 0-4. This is why they have not won a game since October 24th last year. And I hate to say it, we might be looking at the other side of 365 days before the Bears get another win. But I'll tell you like this, if they fall this Thursday on the road in Washington to the Commanders, and if it's bad, it would not surprise me to see somebody else coaching the Bears come week 6 when they take on the Minnesota Vikings. Things just keep going from bad to worse for the Chicago Bears, and I just don't know if there's an end to this futility rather in the Windy City. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.